Imagine waking up one day to realize the life you thought was yours was only half the truth. And worse, the other half wants to overthrow you. That's the terrifying reality we were left with at the end of Severance Season 2, a finale so intense, so mind-bending, it shattered the fragile boundaries between the innies and outies, and threw us head-first into psychological chaos.
Welcome, Mr. Egan. The efficacy test will begin shortly.
The show's creators gave us clarity, but also an even bigger cliffhanger. And now, fans everywhere are asking, what happens next? Today, we're diving deep into the most gripping, disturbing, and fan-fueled theories about what's coming in Severance Season 3. Some of these will blow your mind. Spoiler alert, we're going full spoilers from here. You've been warned. The Innie Uprising, the battle for control. Let's start with the theory at the heart of it all. The Innie Rebellion. Season 2 made it crystal clear. The Innies have stopped seeing themselves as disposable. For so long, they believed they were nothing more than corporate puppets, living half-lives with no control, no purpose, and no future. But by the end of Season 2, everything changed. We saw Mark, Helly, and Dylan realize that their half-lives are still lives worth fighting for. And Season 3 may finally show them taking full control, not just inside the Lumen walls, but outside too. One fan theory gaining serious traction is that Helly will use her unique position as James Egan's daughter to manipulate her way into a position of power. Remember, James told her he saw Kier's spirit within her, a statement dripping with creepy corporate indoctrination, but also one Helly could use to her advantage. She may cut a deal, but not to serve her outie. No, to serve herself, to keep her Innie in control, permanently. What if Season 3 is all about the Innies holding the outies hostage? A reversal of everything the show has done so far, the OTC protocol, life beyond Lumen. Another theory revolves around the OTC protocol, the Overtime Contingency Protocol. In the finale, the protocol was used to wake the Innies outside work hours, causing complete chaos. But what if, in Season 3, that protocol becomes more permanent? What if Helly and Mark's Innies remain awake indefinitely? This would allow the Innies to live real lives beyond the Lumen walls, something they've only dreamed of until now. Imagine Innie Mark and Innie Helly, finally free in the outside world, navigating relationships, choices, and danger without the corporate leash. But that freedom will come at a cost. The theory goes further. Helly might be pregnant. Season 2 hinted at this possibility. There were lingering theories about Helena being pregnant after the Oro Gala. But what if it's Helly who's carrying a child? If true, the symbolism is devastating. An Innie, seen as less than human, literally creating life, forcing society to confront whether severed people are real, valuable, and autonomous. James Egan may find himself intrigued by the idea of an heir born from an Innie, possibly willing to negotiate if it means legacy. Mark's future. The hostage dynamic flips. What about Mark? In Season 2, we watched Mark drive the rebellion forward, risking everything when he realized his wife, Gemma, was alive and trapped inside Lumen as Ms. Casey. But now, Mark is a liability. Cold Harbor, Lumen's secret project, has been completed. Mark's usefulness is over, and he's enemy number one after leading the uprising. One chilling theory is that Season 3 will flip the script. In Season 2, Lumen held the Innies hostage. In Season 3, it might be the Innies holding the outies hostage. Mark's Innie may refuse to let his outie self take control ever again, not after everything he's lost. We could see Mark's outie consciousness buried deep, a prisoner inside his own mind, while his Innie finally lives freely outside Lumen. Who's the real Mark? Season 3 may force us to question whether the person who works 9 to 5 is any less real than the one who sleeps in bed at night. The outside world's battle, the second front. While chaos unfolds inside Lumen, another rebellion is brewing outside. Devon, Harmony Coble, and Gemma are all positioned perfectly to lead the charge against Lumen from the outside world. Gemma's return alone is explosive. A woman presumed dead, now walking free after being used in secret experiments. That's a scandal that could shake Lumen to its core. But Lumen's reach is vast. They control not just corporate employees, but politicians, law enforcement, and media. Even with proof, taking them down won't be easy. The theory here is that we'll see a two-front war. The innies fighting for autonomy from within. The outies and the outside world fighting to expose Lumen's crimes. And don't be surprised if unlikely allies emerge. Bert, who hinted at a dark past working for Lumen, may finally turn against the company he once served, joining forces with Harmony, Devon, and Gemma. Irving's disappearance, is he reintegration's key? One of the biggest mysteries from Season 2 is what happened to Irving. The Season 3 announcement teaser featured the MDR desk, but with only 3 seats. Does that mean Irving won't return? Not necessarily. Fans believe Irving's storyline is far from over. His deep connection to the export hallway, the place used to destroy severed memories, suggests he may have been part of Lumen's darkest experiments. Some even theorize that Irving underwent reintegration once before, which is why he seems to recall places his innie shouldn't recognize. We also don't know who Irving called from that phone booth. Many believe he's in contact with an anti-Lumen resistance group, and his absence could mean he's fled to a society free from Lumen's control. The first glimpse we might get of a world untainted by Severance. Expect Irving to return when we least expect it, possibly as the key to dismantling the Severance process, once and for all. Dylan's struggle, freedom, or oblivion. Then there's Dylan, the character with possibly the darkest arc of all. In Season 2, Dylan struggled with purpose. Without his son Gretchen, he felt like his existence was a cruel joke. By the finale, we saw Dylan standing defiantly at the heart of the rebellion. Season 3 could explore 2 possible paths for him. A desperate search for meaning, possibly trying to reunite with his son permanently. A descent into darkness, fighting to dismantle Lumen not for freedom, but for the right to choose his own end. Either way, Dylan's story is likely to explore what it means to have your existence controlled, commodified, and ultimately discarded. Gemma's mind, the chip Lumen can't let go. Gemma may have escaped Lumen's facility, but she's far from safe. The chip inside her, the so-called greatest technological achievement of Lumen Industries, makes her a living, breathing asset the company will stop at nothing to reclaim. One theory suggests that Season 3 will reveal Lumen attempting to retrieve or erase Gemma's mind entirely. The stakes aren't just personal anymore. They're corporate, technological, and terrifyingly existential. What happens when a person's consciousness is literally considered corporate property? Gemma's survival could determine the fate of everyone who's ever been severed. The bigger picture. Is there a world beyond Lumen? One lingering theory ties everything together, that Lumen's Severance project is just the beginning. Season 3 may finally introduce us to the world beyond Lumen's walls. Not just the mundane, suburban reality of Devon and Harmony, but an entire network of corporations, governments, and institutions who have bought into Keir's ideology. This theory suggests that Lumen isn't just a company, it's the epicenter of a new world order, one where autonomy, consent, and identity are traded like commodities. The rebellion we've seen so far, that might just be the first spark in a global revolution. In an interview, director Ben Stiller teased that Season 3 will shift into a new tone and a different reality for the characters. The clues point to a darker, more chaotic world where the innies aren't just fighting to exist, they're fighting to define what it even means to be human. Whether it's an uprising within Lumen, a resistance on the outside, or an all-out war of identity and autonomy, one thing is certain. Severance Season 3 is coming for us, and nothing will be the same. So, those are the biggest, boldest, and darkest theories surrounding Severance Season 3. What do you think will happen? Will the innies finally be free, or is Lumen always one step ahead? Drop your theories in the comments. I want to hear them.